How's everybody doing? So I just wanted to take a real quick second before the video really gets going and say thank you to all those that have reached out in the comments just wanting to make sure we're doing well and are excited for us. We appreciate all of you guys. We appreciate you watching, and we're so excited for this journey that we are on. Alright, so we're here at the farm. This is day 3 that we've been working on the concrete, and now we're out here doing the forms. After the forms, the plumber's gonna come out, so we'll be able to get that stuff done. But it's been a pretty good process so far, as long as you can stay in the shade. And I've been trying to do that as much as I can here lately. These guys have done a great job so far. They've been working fast. Gosh, they go fast. So it's been really cool getting to watch them. If you guys have any questions about anything along the way, feel free to comment down below, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give us a like, all that fun stuff, because things are happening like crazy and we don't want you to miss out on anything. So some of you may notice in this video that I sounded a little bit under the weather. No, I didn't have the virus, okay? I didn't have it. But if you saw the last video where we were working out in the rain, that didn't do me very good, and my allergies kicked into high gear. In fact, Samuel even asked me about it in this next clip.
That rain trying to get you sick.
Yeah, it's my allergies killing me.
That's one thing that I've noticed a lot of here lately is, I mean, especially coming from somebody who had some congestion and started to get a cough, and feeling like no matter where you went, if you sniffle or if you cough, it's like you're a leper. People look at you like you are going to kill them. It's crazy. So I'll get off my soapbox now. You notice that the footings have quite a raindrop texture to them. Well, if you saw the last video, we were fighting rain at the very end. So it was a little bit hard to get these marked with the chalk, but we got it done anyway, and the concrete is totally fine. I've had people say stuff to me like, oh, you poured concrete in the rain, oh, it's gonna be ruined, it's not gonna be as strong. But I don't know how many people know this or not, but the water actually never leaves the concrete. It stays in it. It's retained within the concrete. It's one of the things that makes it strong. You have to have water in order to make concrete because it is part of the concrete. So if that is, I don't know if that's like a little bonus tip for anybody out there, but the rain is not ideal, and people don't want to pour concrete in the rain, not because it makes the concrete weak, but it's because that it makes the finish of the concrete look like what you can see right here. It's not super easy. It's a very washed aggregate look. We'll call it that. So that being said, these are footings and the piers underneath, so it doesn't have to look pretty. In a situation where we were pouring, if this was pouring the slab, for example, and there was a chance of rain, there is no way that we would be out there pouring it, because it's not worth risking getting a really poor finish on something that is going to be visible, like a slab. You don't want it to look bad. You want it to be smooth. You want it to be pristine. So that's the reason that we poured it in the rain, because it didn't really matter what it looked like. It just had to be strong. I guess I can talk about this a little bit. What we're doing here is, and when I say we, I mean I'm walking around with the video camera while Samuel, and he uses his expertise to do everything correctly. But we're marking where the chalk line, or we're marking with a chalk line where the forms will go. So when they put this form in place, there's a line on the top. You can see the top string line, and then there's a bottom chalk line. So it gives them a place to easily be able to line up both sides of the board so that the sides of the slab will be plumb and they'll also be straight. So that's what we're doing here. Again, here are the plans. If you want to pause it and see what our house looks like and all that stuff, go right ahead. But it's going to be really cool. We are so excited to see it come together. All right, we got all our string lines run. Everything
board's looking good, square. So now we're about to start. When I say we, I mean I'm gonna video them do it, but we're gonna do the all the forms. We're gonna go up. We're gonna leave this east side over here open, just so when Matt with Whitna Plumbing gets to come in, he can have access to that side for digging. So anyway, let's get to work.
I love these time lapses. It's my favorite thing to video on a project because of one thing: perspective. I feel like this is like kind of like what God sees. Like he sees all these people rushing around trying to accomplish a goal at the end of the day that is one of those things that may not necessarily be what is most important in life. And that's one of the things that I'm really trying to hold on to during this whole process, to try to remember what are the things that are most important in my life. And this house is really cool and everything, and don't get me wrong, we are really excited to get this house done. But at the end of the day, the thing that's the most important is my family. It's being involved with our community of faith. It's all of those kind of things that are the most important. It's telling other people about Jesus. It's all those things. We want to make sure we keep this in perspective. This is just a house. It's a replaceable thing, and I hope that we can eventually end up using this to further the things that are the most important, like raising a family, bringing people in to minister to them, to love on them. Anyway, I've rambled on a little bit too long about the time lapses, but anyway, back to this. So what we're doing here, and again, when I say we, I'm standing there with a video camera. It's not that cool. But these guys, what they're doing is they're setting up these forms. These forms are what will hold the concrete in place while we are actually pouring the concrete. If you don't have these forms, you don't have something strong behind it to hold it all in place, well, the concrete's just going to bust through whatever weak form that you put up and run all over the ground. And that's bad. So Samuel and one of his crew guys is up here at the top. They're cutting off little stakes, little supports that can help hold these forms in place, and then they're drilling them into the ground and then nailing them into the ground. So they're able to really make sure that the forms are solid, they're not going to go anywhere, and they're going to be able to keep the shape and the square of the house the entire time that the concrete is being poured. And just in case, if any of you are curious what the pieces of rebar are sticking out of the footings are for, well, I don't know if we were able to really tell super well in the last video because it was raining so hard, but those pieces actually get folded over and they connect to the slab. So the slab will actually be hooked to, via the rebar, to the actual footing. So it's kind of just makes everything stronger, holds everything together. It's as close to what you would call a monolithic pour as you can get, which mono means they pour everything at once. The footings, the slab, everything all at once. So this is like the closest version that you can get to it with still being very, very, very strong and totally more than enough as far as adequacy goes. So there it is. And you'll notice there's one board that's right there on the front that's not placed. And that is for the plumber. The plumber's going to bring in a excavator and a little mini track hoe and be able to dig the plumbing lines and be able to stub them all out. So they leave one board off just so they can get in and be able to get everything they need to get done without having to mess with the forms. But that is for the next video.
And they've done a really good job. It is hot, and I cannot believe this is happening. We are going to have a concrete slab here within the next couple weeks. So that's crazy. It's really coming along. I'm standing right now in the doorway of what will be our mudroom. So really cool to think about. In the future, I will be coming in off the patio, opening a door, and taking off my boots right here where I stand. So that's pretty cool, man. Let's get out of the sun and finish this video out of the sun, because holy cow. Well, you can tell by the level of heat off the amount of glisten that your skin gets from the sun. It's a great day. We are officially to the point where plumbing is ready to start their stub out and electric is ready to start their stub out. So we are making really good progress and I'm super excited. It is, man, when this really gets going, like it really just starts going. Like there's not much of a, you're just really having to try to keep up with everything. That's what maintaining a really good schedule is, a nice bonus. So far up until this point I've been able to do that, but we'll see what happens in the future. I'm gonna try to stick on it. But if you haven't already, comment, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We're looking forward to sharing this whole journey with you guys. So that's it for this one. I'll see you guys on the next video.